Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Ben Barber, and this is another edition of Mental Health Mondays here on 321 Westerly. And I am very excited because Mental Health Mondays are super important. And we're going to dive into a lot of topics going forward with professionals and a little bit more structure to this, which I'm excited about. But today we're going to be talking about setbacks again, which is what we covered last time with Mary Shabla. Mary, how are you?
Good, Ben. How are you?
Good. How are you feeling?
Um, I was feeling a little better last week, and then yesterday started aching again. But I have a feeling now it's my knee that's causing the back issue because I have to walk a certain way when my knee is giving me the pain. And again, all the pain's still on the same side, so that's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, it is what it is. But I'm a lot better than I was, the last time we talked.
Good. Good. Excellent. So, yeah, setbacks is today's topic, part two of setbacks. And obviously, if anybody goes back and watches part one of our conversation about setbacks, they're going to see you in a lot of pain. And it's a very difficult topic, but it's something that happens to everybody, no matter what it is, whether it's an accident that you were in, whether it's grief, whether it is, mental health, a personal struggle, anything like that. Healing isn't linear, as my wonderful partner always reminds me. And you're going to have setbacks, you're going to have challenges, and it's how you deal with them and giving yourself the grace to deal with the setbacks, because it's incredibly frustrating because you feel like you built up all of this momentum and then it feels like you're right back at the beginning, but you're not really back at the beginning. You're somewhere in between, and that's a very important distinction, but it's a hard one to make when you're in it. So, how do you feel right now?
Well, totally feel better than I did our part one for sure. Um, but the pain is back. But it's a different pain because I think, like I said, I think it has to do with the knee issue. So I'll just kind of dive into it if that's okay.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
when when I was having my breakdown of the pain and trying to figure all this out again, um, I got an appointment with the doctor. The doctor sent me for an MRI. They sent me for an MRI of my back and my knee. So I was in the machine for an hour and a half. So not fun, but needed. And again, this is all because insurance required it in order for me to get the next steps of what I needed. Um, and just to let you know, because of the severity of the pain I was in, I'm not going to lie, it didn't feel fast enough. In retrospect, it was fast because I called Monday. I got the appointment with the doctor Tuesday. They got me into the MRI Wednesday, and Thursday I got the shot, which was an epidural in my back. Um, but because they had to rush it, and because of insurance and technicalities, I had to actually go to North Providence for the MRI. Just saying, that's not fun when you're in pain, especially that far. But anyway, it got done. I got some relief. The relief lasted for a little bit, and the shot always lasts for a while. And I'm not saying the shot hasn't lasted or and it's still not lasting. The pain I'm experiencing is in a similar area, just a different pain from what I got in the shot, and that's what's making me now think it's the knee. The MRI results said the back is still, it's not showing more deterioration, so that's positive. But the knee is. The knee is showing more issues with the meniscus and other things. So I have to go see an orthopedic for my knee. Um, and I'm just thinking with how it happens, because you just don't pay attention sometimes, it just happens. I'm thinking between my shoes and the way I'm walking and my knee to not feel the knee pain, That's what's throwing off a little bit of the pain that's shooting in the left side upper hip lower back area. Again, it's not the pain where it was, so I'm not trying to discourage anybody. If they've got to get that shot in their back, please do it. It's helped. It's still helping. This new pain is new pain, but that's why I think it's related to the knee. So what I would say is listen to your body, trust your instincts, and call back and argue, so to speak, if you need to, with the doctors, because you know best on your body. Now, after all that, too, the doctor did give me some antidepressant medicine, which side effect was to help with the pain, but it knocks me out, and it causes other side effects, which I'm not going to get into, but are not something I want to deal with. So that's going to be something else I have to call the doctor and talk to the doctor about. But overall, when the last episode, I felt hopeless. I did. I just felt hopeless. I didn't feel like relief was ever going to come. I didn't feel that I was going to get better. I felt like it was the same feeling I felt when the accident happened, and that's not true. Like you mentioned, Ben, it's a new normal. It's not true. It's not as bad, but when you're in it, you think the world's going to end. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel the world's going to end. Even with this pain right now, I don't feel as anxious as I felt a couple of weeks ago. But I know things that I need to do. I got to buy a new mattress. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. That's important. I've got to get that done. I read a lot about lower back pain, and they said medium firm is the best mattress with cooling to help with my type of pain, with my type of issues. So I've got to work on that. Um, and that's the thing. I'll keep working on whatever I have to minimize it. But I'm not going to stop living either. But I won't pick up water. I won't pick up heavy things at the store anymore. I just won't do it. That makes me feel a little weak when there's people older than me picking them up because I can't. You know what I mean? Um, but I have to do what's best for me and not think about that too much. So, um, uh, even though I'm having a little bit of a setback still, it's not as bad as it was, and I'm in a way better place than I was. So, um,
Good.
I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and that's the whole thing, right? And as we've said, as I've said earlier on this, and as is a mantra in my house, healing isn't linear. I
Right.
want to go through some coping skills for dealing with setbacks, and this is from BetterHelp, actually, an article on BetterHelp. But there are five basic coping skills for facing setbacks. And these are healthy coping mechanisms that you can implement into your own life. And generally, these tend to help. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but number one is find the learning opportunity. When faced with a setback in life, finding the learning opportunity can be one of the healthiest coping strategies. You might uh, choose to conduct a situational analysis, or um, you know try to figure out ways to turn a negative into a positive. But taking the learning experience from that, whether it may be, for example, in Mary's case, not overexerting herself, knowing that yes, she may not be able to pick up this heavy thing in the grocery store, and seeing other people do it, and that may be frustrating, but that is a learning experience, right? That's going to trigger a setback of some kind, whether it be physical, like Mary's going through right now, or maybe learning that you say you have a PTSD, right, or a panic disorder or something. Knowing what those things are and taking that as a learning experience of my body's trying to tell me something, my mind is trying to tell me something. And then number two is considering an alternate path forward. So similar to finding the learning opportunities, considering an alternate path forward may also be on the list of great coping strategies. Looking for a different path forward doesn't necessarily mean that you should switch up or give up on a goal, but it means that there's almost always different ways to find out how to do something. And again, using Mary's example right now, looking at a new mattress. Maybe it's a situation with her knee. How do I do this? Right, finding a new path forward from this is incredibly important. And usually there is one if you're open to it. There are many different paths to get to the destination.
Right.
Um, and then the next one is usually I think the most difficult, which is don't succumb to negative thinking. There may be a plethora of ways in which negative thinking can impact your mental health and exacerbate existing problems, whether they be mental or physical. But it's really important to try to not succumb to those negative thoughts. Pattern interruption, whatever you may try, and this I'm just off the head now.
Yeah.
Pattern interruption, spending time with loved ones, doing things that take your mind off of those negative thoughts, really trying hard not to sit in the negativity of the setback is incredibly important. The next one on here is take a break. Due to the impact that setbacks can have on our emotional and mental health, taking a break can be one of the best coping skills. The willingness to take a break doesn't necessarily mean giving up on the goal that you've been working to achieve, but it may simply mean that clearing your head, regrouping, and returning. So, giving yourself, if it's a physical setback, giving yourself the time to heal. If it's a mental or emotional setback, giving yourself time, taking a break from the things that are the stressors, doing those things, incredibly important. And then finally, surrounding yourself with loved ones, having people to talk to, having people to help or to share those experiences or whatever it may be. Those are incredibly important coping skills. So that's
And
five coping skills, five healthy coping skills for dealing with setbacks that I just wanted to put out there.
yeah, no, that's great. And honestly, another big one for I think a lot of people too is asking for help. I think that's a really big one. Surrounding yourself by loved ones and people that are positive in your life, that's what you need. I think sometimes the asking for help is also just another thing that's hard because you don't want to seem weak and you don't want to put people out. That's kind of how you feel or how I feel. And so that's hard, and that's always been something that I've learned to um, try to try to deal with too. Is if people are offering, accept it and reach out, and that's maybe it's a pride thing. I don't know, but for me, that is definitely something I have to work on.
Yeah.
And just an FYI, I'm sitting in my car because I've got my heated seat on my back, and it feels wonderful. So I'm just sitting in here right now, just because it's hitting the right spot that I need. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. um, so, Mary, what does these episodes aren't always going to be incredibly long,
Right,
but and like I said, we're gonna this has been a wonderful series on setbacks that we're doing right now, and then we're gonna have Cheryl back. We're gonna have some professionals on to talk about some more things.
right.
Anything going on right now at the Mental Health Resource Center, or anything that we should be aware of?
Well,
Any
we're
events
working.
or anything?
Well, we're working with Wellbeing Collaborative, and they're doing a scavenger hunt that's going to start this weekend, where people are going to go around through the areas that they cover, which is Richmond, Hopkinton, Charahoe, Westerly, and we're going to have a QR code sign on there, so if people come by and they know where the facility is, they can click on it. And I'm not fully versed on their scavenger hunt, but the reason that they're doing this is to let people know what's around and what's available, and they have opportunities if they go visit certain areas and stuff to win cash prizes. So I'm not sure all the details of what they have to do or how many they have to visit or whatever. But I think it's a great idea because it lets people know what's available. They are working to update their QR code to put information from our mental health facility in there, including our schedule, which we do have a copy of that on our window at the office. As far as Gateway is concerned, they always are there second shift, but sometimes the police do take them on calls. So they're still available working. They may not physically be in the office, so to speak, at that point because they're out doing other calls with the police. But right now during the day, we definitely have people there that are there to help out for, say, people that may not be able to get there on a second shift basis. So we're getting more staffing, which is great. We're getting more exposure, and as far as because it is still the old substation, we support the police with what they do. And at the end of the month, on the 30th of April, actually, there's going to be a charity basketball game between the Westerly Police and the Stonington Police, a nice little rivalry basketball game going to be at the high school, Westerly High School. And there'll be a $5 charge, which money is going to go to charity for that. So just another some fun little thing that we're going to just kind of be supportive of.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mary, for being here today, and I really appreciate it. And I wish you continuous success on your healing. And I know that it's not always a straight shot, but thank you for being so vulnerable and open with us about your setbacks. And let us know if you need anything.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Normally I don't have these episodes, we'll just say, like I used to have them. They're really few and far between. It's just when they hit, it just really does a job on things. So I'm going to take your 5 steps into consideration because they're honestly wonderful examples. And as I've said to people in recovery and stuff, it's one day at a time, and kind of have to heed our own advice, right?
Yep, absolutely.
One day at a time, and that's it. I know it'll get better. You know what it was too. I think part of it was during that time I had seen so many doctors I had never seen in my whole life, and I felt like, oh God, here we got to go again with all these different doctors again, and it just it's taxing. It's just taxing. But you know what? It gave me some more ideas. I've already been talking to some people. I can't say on what yet because we have other ideas of how to move forward. But more things will come from our center to help people and expand, for everybody. So we'll just say stay tuned on that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we wish you well with your mental health, and take a break when you need it. So that's it for today.
Everything.
Bye for now.
Day. Bye.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.